Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire with me, Bring It On.
Yeah?
Let's leave Hasongo. And don't come back.
Don't let the door hit your scaly behinds on the way out.
Hands kept to the sides of her mouth, Jody whoops loudly.
Sure.
I feel like I explored everything here. Maybe we have to leave and come back, and people will re-inhabit Hasongo, so we can do Adair's quest. We'll figure it out. We should probably speak to the NPCs that are in this building here.
Scale-bellied cowards! I knew they'd run! Look at our beacon. Even the Colossus couldn't destroy it. And those snakes aren't so tough now, are they?
She looks up at the lighthouse, giddy with relief. You underestimated the dangers here before. It would be unwise to do so again.
Of course.
She nods, but she's still staring up at the lighthouse.
We'll rebuild bigger and better, with reinforced walls and extra cannons. Our engineers will make this place truly impregnable.
She finally turns to you.
The Hansanui will want to thank you personally for your help here. And she should also know what we're up against.
She eyes the Dawn Stars and the crater's footprint. Where can I find the Hasongo?
She's usually at the Brass Citadel in Nekataka. Though she gets called to the palace often, haggling with the Queen and the Valians.
Actually, I'm headed to Mogren's Teeth.
Looking for a real challenge after what you did to those scale bellies?
She laughs, a brittle edge creeping back into her voice.
The only thing I know about the place is it's supposedly made of fire. And no one's ever come back from it.
She swallows, fear making hollows of her eyes.
But anything can be overcome.
She smiles grimly. Farewell.
Clear skies.
She crosses her forearms over her chest. Is this pronounced Bjarn?
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
Unlike the other survivors you've seen, this young man, despite a haggard look and a set of dirt-smeared, tattered clothes, wears a calm face and speaks with a steady voice. Yes, actually. My friend is looking for someone we were told might live around here.
Short lady, about my age. Came from Deerwood with her son. Let's see. Freckles, braids, usually. Punches you in the arm if she likes you. Face if not. Oh, and that's if you're lucky.
No, that doesn't sound like anyone.
The young man's face remains smooth, betraying neither surprise nor interest. We're in the right place. You must know her. She has a son about your age.
You gotta be her son. Got her nose and her freckles. You don't have to lie to me, kid. I'm a friend of your mother's. She hiding from someone? Maybe an ex-lover who gave her the best night of her life?
You are protecting her. We understand.
No, I misspoke.
Forget it. Just tell me something. Your father, you know him?
I'm sorry, who are you?
Option 2. Like Adair said, we're friends of your mother's.
Right, friends of Alava's.
No hint of emotion registers on the boy's face.
Yes, I knew my father when I was very young. He was a man of strong faith.
Have to be. You get Alava mad, you need a god on your side for protection.
He was lost to us during the purges, which was how we came to flee here.
So you met him?
Bjarn nods slowly.
Well, that's great. You had a dad.
A moment passes with Adair staring at Bjarn with a strange undulating grimace drawn back across his face. He clears his throat.
Where's your mother now? Got a lot of catching up to do.
My mother is with Aethys.
There is a trace of a smile that seems to come with the last word. Adair appears confused. Meaning what exactly?
She passed the veil a few years ago. A flu.
Adair's jaw slackens.
It's possible her soul has taken a new body by now, but if she was truly blessed, she marches instead beside the shining god.
The boy's hinted smile brightens, his eyes far away. Adair's face has gone scarlet beneath his farmer's tan. His nostrils pulsate with each heavy breath.
You lied to us. Said you didn't know her. Expect me to believe this now?
He takes a short step towards Bjarn, who takes two backwards. It does look like he might be alone here.
Well, he hides his grief pretty well, doesn't he?
Adair stares the boy down, and turns away with a grunt, and a not worth it gesture.
I'm not lying. She's buried on the other side of that hill.
He points northward.
How could she be gone?
Don't be troubled by her passing. All souls that march with Aethys receive his warmth and light.
Adair scowls. What do you mean, march with Aethys?
Aethys has come to us twice now. Even Oblivion couldn't slow his march. We shouldn't have opposed his first coming. He meant to rally us under his banner.
Oh, I know a lot of Dead Deer Woodens who will be relieved to hear that.
We were victims of a quarrel of gods.
And seeing what we've seen, it's hard to believe they got our best interests at heart.
Oh, they definitely don't. Well, I can't say that for all of them. But some do seem to be acting for self-preservation.
Aethys forced everyone to declare themselves as ally or enemy, nothing more.
He doesn't really have the right to do that anyway, since he's an artificial construct.
Now he marches again, and we have a chance to correct our mistake.
Well, that's charitable.
I would like to have joined him when he passed this way, but I was weak. It won't happen again.
You seem confident in a god who's causing a lot of destruction.
You can't build on broken foundations. Real change needs destruction. I trust my God knows better than I do. He knows truths I'll never learn.
And got that right.
I was once lost. I struggled as you do now. But the partisans of the lighted path have restored my faith in Aethys.
At this, Adair looks up at Bjarn.
What greater honor than to march in his vanguard?
Who are the partisans of the lighted path?
We began as children of the Dawnstars, separated from each other as we questioned our purpose. But then Aethys granted a vision to Gadarian Bosch. Bosch saw an illuminated path lighten the way through a black abyss.
The words fall from his mouth bulky and awkward, as though someone had stuffed them there.
And he saw Aethys marching on the path, and Aethys bade him to march alongside.
Not quite how I've been seeing it, but everyone's open to their own interpretations.
And the Shining God told Gadarian Bosch to gather an army of the god's truest followers, and to prepare to lead it into battle.
You'd think after getting blown up, he'd slow down on the battling.
Who does Aethys intend to battle?
We don't know. The end of the path hasn't been revealed to Gadarian Bosch yet.
Really cool name.
But to the faithful, shouldn't matter.
How will you join Aethys when he marches beneath the sea?
There'll be a great journey, but we're prepared. Gadarian Bosch knows the way.
Has this bow shown proof of his visions?
Aethys himself has appeared in Deadfire in the form Gadarian Bosch foretold. That's more proof than any of his faithful could ever ask. What fortune to be given this opportunity to know our God in the living world.
Why did he lie to us about knowing Alafa?
Gadarian Bosch warned us. Those outside the partisans may ridicule us and test our faith, especially our old families and others close to them. We've learned it's best to keep to ourselves and those with open minds, which relations and friends mostly aren't.
Adair, did you get what you needed here? Adair takes a deep breath. He looks around, then at Bjarn. He nods, tight-lipped.
We can go.
We'll be going.
Hey, kid. What was your name again?
Bairn.
Oh, Bairn. Yeah, I was thinking that, but...
Right. This lighted path fellow, Bosch. Sounds interesting. There's some way I can meet him?
He's usually on the move, rallying followers. But the partisans of the lighted path often gather in the temple of Aethys in Neketaka. I seem to go there myself, in fact. There's an adherent there, Ogna, who initiates new partisans. No doubt she'd be pleased to help you. Aethys needs able soldiers, even in their elder years.
Adair spits.
You should consider what Ogna has to say. It might speak to you. Farewell.
Right.
Alright, so we have a couple things to do in Neketaka. I want to speak to the royalty. And we'll go speak to Ogna and possibly Bosch. But before that, we need to go to Oreo Kawiki. Because we need to speak to the Wahaki there about Deadlight. Oh goodness. Hasongo is a mound of wreckage on the horizon, and you see a dozen junk sailing toward you. Even at this distance, you can tell they are making good speed. One of the ships pulls up alongside yours, and a well-dressed Samoa man approaches the edge of the deck. You recognize it's Sura, the Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company. It is good to see you again. I see you continue to leave your mark. He's gazing toward Hasongo with a peculiar smile. The Adra beacon, visible even here, shines brightly. Neketaka is abuzz with praise for your deeds as well. But what is this about? I want to extend the thanks of the Royal Deadfire Company for what you've done here. He raises one hand toward the Adra beacon. You've restored a valuable asset, whether or not it was your intention. Gives you a quick, sly smile. The others at the palace will want to hear of this, no doubt. You may as well take credit while the deed is fresh. Say nothing. At any rate, I have much to attend to, and it seems you do as well. Clear skies, Captain Donald. And Sura nods as his crew makes ready to sail once more. Where is... Oh, all the way up there. I would say it seems we're inadvertently helping the Royal Deadfire Company conquer the Deadfire, but they kind of already had dibs. Oh, we don't have any water. They already had dibs on Hasongo.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk. Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the pallid night shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm. Your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the god of death.
Say nothing.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light.
We actually didn't there. I think maybe we were supposed to, but since we already found him on accident, we didn't have anything to say to him.
Tell me what you have learned.
He makes for Mogren's teeth.
Intriguing.
The pallid knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you.
So, Weil looks far more terrifying than I expected, and I also thought Abaddon would be a full construct. Looks more half and half here.
In the space beside Berith, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga, each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages. And we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Say nothing.
We see between the strings of the world, and Aothis is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Berith's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Aothas is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
Aren't you worried?
No, he is a creature of the pack left long alone. Without our strength behind him, he is weak. If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Aothis does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Berith's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks, and form the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands before you. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield makes up most of his skull, his right eye socket, and jaw. His mouth is pulled forever into a half grimace.
If Aothas has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path and set him down a more productive one.
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long, still gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety.
The other gods don't seem too concerned.
He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Aora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him. But I will bear down upon Aethys with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
Say nothing.
The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the pallid night stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts.
What could Aethys possibly gain by destroying Aora?
Aethys seeks a slate wiped clean. Freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal lives the gods hoard within themselves.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
It's not like I have a choice.
To live is a choice, and you yet draw breath. Drink deep of the air, Watcher. We have work yet to do.
The warmth of the pallid night's breath blows soft on the back of your neck, though she stands nowhere near you. Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Barith's realm and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
Let's check in with Adair real quick. Hopefully we can continue our journey without being interrupted again.
What's gnawing you?
Talk to me about Baird. I said Baird.
Wasn't what I expected, I know that much. I had this idea that maybe I'd get along with him. Either because he was like his mom, or because he was like... But it was like somebody talked him out of his personality. And when he looked at you, you got the feeling he was looking at someone a long ways behind you.
Adair shakes his head.
It's not his fault. He's alone out here. And his mom was such a force. If she was so sure of herself, she'd have had that cult leader following her. Hard to replace something like that. Yes?
We're still neutral with Alof. Oh. Clear her throat once, and then again. Maya raises her eyes to yours when you glance over.
Oh, you wanted something, Captain?
You're the one trying to get my attention.
What, me?
Maya chuckles and crosses her arms.
Been trying to say that it's a pity you're already accounted for, Captain. You're halfway towards being a decent catch. Forget I said anything. It's not important.
Maya coughs into her fist and glances away. I had some questions.
I've got some answers.
Okay, that gives me an idea. I think I like Maya a bit more than Jody, personality-wise. Don't really have a thing for zealots, so let's see if we can break it off and romance Maya instead.
I'm all ears.
I don't really care for the romance with Jody anyway.
Tell me what's on your mind.
We need to break up. Jody's back shoots ramrod straight, her expression turning just as stiff. All sign of her usual mirth wiped abruptly from her face.
Think carefully before you speak next, because I don't do takebacks.
It's over. She sighs, all the fight draining out of her that quick.
I know I can sometimes come across a tad too intense. I guess I'm not surprised it had to come to this. I only hope we can still be friends.
She ducks her head, a hand massaging the back of her neck. It really hasn't come up since...
Watcher, tell me what's on your mind. I'm glad we talked.
Her dialogue hasn't really changed.
Captain, a word?
Maya nods to grab your attention. Yes, Maya?
What, did Ishi defecate in your favorite helmet or something? You've spoken to Aethys, which means you know what we're up against. If the fleet sailed up to him and fired every cannon at once, I imagine we'd have a fighting chance at taking a chip off his kneecap.
I mean, he's made out of Adra, and Adra's not indestructible. They mine it. So, use whatever you use to mine Adra to blow him up.
There's no stopping him, is there?
I'm not ruling out the chance of an unlikely solution.
So, that's a no?
She sighs away some of her tension, rolling her shoulders and cracking her neck.
I suppose there's a certain appeal to recognizing the inevitable. We don't have to waste our breath trying to stop it.
Care to elaborate on that?
It reminds me of the first time I shot to kill.
Maya folds her arms and grins. Oh, I have to hear this.
There he stood, a pirate captain barking orders from the forecastle. Out of everyone's range but mine.
Maya holds up her hand to frame a distant spot.
The wind toyed with us. I took aim, never thinking I'd make the shot, but then I felt this awareness, like someone out there was aiming me. A cannon blast took me by surprise. I squeezed off a shot, expecting it to fly wide, but the bullet took my target between his eyes.
She traces a circle over her brow.
I don't know if Bareth kicked open a door or the Sky Mother held my hand, but that man was meant to die. I've got that same feeling now. Better or worse, I know that Aethys is meant to succeed.
Ever question your career choice?
Choice is a funny word. I never planned to live by the gun. One day I put a bullet through a Bronzoa while the Ranganui happened to be watching, and the rest was history. I can still take pride in my work, if that's what you're asking.
Time will tell if Aethys getting what he wants is good for the rest of us.
Hope I didn't take the wind out of your sail. Whether or not we can change anything, at least we can say we were there. That's more than most people get. I've got some answers.
How do I not get a chance to romance her now?
Captain.
I missed my opportunity? No, that's okay. A captain shouldn't fraternize with the crew anyway. A colorful parrot alights on the railing of your ship. A missive bound to its leg bears the sigil of the Kahanga tribe. Alright, Queen Onikaza's missive. Captain Donald, it would be my honor to host the savior of Hasongo at the Kahanga Palace. Nekataka is the city for Huana and outsiders alike, and there's no shortage of work for Kith who are determined to be as useful as you. Should you have the stamina for a good climb, the palace atop Serpent's Crown could be your second home. Think on it. Regards, Queen Onikaza II. Gonna try and sail me around to that side. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time we will turn in the quest to the Wahaki. We'll return to Nekataka, speak to the Hazanui, the Queen, and Agna, possibly Bosch if he shows up at the temple. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.